Did you know Toy Story 5 is the first in the series to get a PG rating, and it's all about toys versus tech? Hey, I'm Emma, and I'm feeling intrigued by the new twists in Toy Story 5. Like, this one actually has something to say about our screen-obsessed lives. So let's talk. Toy Story 5 is Pixar's American animated adventure comedy drama that dropped in 2026, premiering in Los Angeles and hitting US theaters mid-June. It's the first main Toy Story without John Lasseter involved. Andrew Stanton, a longtime Toy Story writer, directed and co-wrote it. The film is rated PG, and the heartbeat is this: kids drifting from toys to screens, and what that does to friendship, identity, and play. Basically, Pixar looked at your kid's tablet and said, what if that thing had feelings too? Let me set the scene. When I first got a smartphone, I was the most annoying person alive. I mean, texting under the table at dinner and taking photos of my pasta like I had Michelin stars to award. Then, on a family vacation, I pulled a full clown move and dropped my phone straight into a pool. Big yikes. Instant tech-free week. And honey, the plot twist? Without the phone, I rediscovered board games with my cousins, full-on screaming over Scrabble and making up dramatic backstories for Monopoly tokens. We remembered what hanging out felt like, not just scrolling next to each other. That week taught me something I swear this movie gets. We don't have to cancel tech. We just need to let real-life connection be the main character and let the screen be a supporting role. Toy Story 5 is that exact energy. Okay, let's move on. Quick basics. Toy Story 5 picks up about 2 years after Toy Story 4. Bonnie, our kid from the last film, now has a tablet, a frog-themed one named Lilypad, or Lily for short, voiced by Greta Lee, who you might know for very sharp, emotionally precise performances. The setup is very ELI 5. Imagine your favorite stuffed toy meets your tablet. Both have to share your attention, the toys panic, the tablet learns, and the kid is caught in the middle. And yes, Woody, Buzz, and Jessie are all here. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Joan Cusack are back doing the emotional heavy lifting with that classic banter and warmth. Let's unwrap the who made this. Andrew Stanton directed and co-wrote. He's the guy who's been shaping Toy Story's soul since the 90s, so the continuity of voice is real. He teams with Kenna Harris, co-writer and co-director, who helps recenter the story around Jessie. They give Jessie a glow-up not by changing who she is, but by letting her question her relevance and then leading the charge on what play means now. Pete Docter, Pixar's chief creative officer, teed the theme up at a fan event with the line, "Toy meets tech," which is like the exact North Star they follow. Cast-wise, new faces pop. Conan O'Brien voices a potty training device named Smarty Pants. Craig Robinson voices Atlas, a GPS hippo toy. Shelby Rabara is Snappy, a toy camera. And Michael Michelle Harris is Blaze, a kid who becomes crucial to Jessie's purpose. The vibe is that tech isn't a cartoon villain. It's a character that can learn to help kids connect. Oh, and speaking of drama, the production tea is hot. Pixar said they didn't use AI for this movie. They tested it, but the results weren't up to Pixar standards. That is a flex. Instead, they rolled out shiny in-house tools. RenderMan XPU hit its feature debut here, mixing CPUs and GPUs so artists could iterate way faster. Think 9 times quicker lighting tweaks, which is wild. They expanded Luna in their Presto system, so lighting changes could ripple across a grid of shots. Goodbye copy-paste hell. And the character work? They built a horse, Daffodil, over more than a year, inventing something called invertible rigging so animators could push and pull any control and get more convincing weight and contact. Plus, they crafted a new hair system for Blaze's tight curls, consulting Black colleagues to get the coils, springiness, and silhouette right. All that craft helps sell a story that lives or dies on sincerity. And yes, the budget matches the ambition. Variety clocked it around $250 million. High risk, high polish. Now for the messy question. Do we actually need Toy Story 5? Critics are divided. Owen Gleiberman, Variety's veteran film critic, went big, comparing the 5-film run to, wait for it, the Beatles' catalog in how cohesive it feels. On the other side, Peter Bradshaw at The Guardian waved the fatigue flag, arguing the franchise is stretching for freshness. Somewhere in the middle, IndieWire's David Ehrlich gave it a B+ while saying it felt scattered, and the Boston Globe praised Making Jessie the focus but wanted a sharper tech critique. The scores reflect that vibe. Rotten Tomatoes sits in the 90s for approval, Metacritic in the 70s, and audiences gave it an A cinema score, which screams great word of mouth. Box office heat check, since I know you care. Opening day in the US pulled in about 71 million, previews included, which is a power start. Here's my take. Yes, it risks redundancy, but it earns its seat. The PG rating lets it go a bit deeper on peer pressure and online group chats. The tablet Lily starts as competition, then learns to help Bonnie find real friends, especially Blaze. That pivot from enemy to ally is the modern insight. It's not toys versus tech, it's toys and tech versus loneliness. Okay, pause. Because the plot has a side dish that's too delicious to skip. The multi-buzz subplot. Picture 50 high-tech Buzz Lightyears stuck in demo mode, shipwrecked and literally following the North Star like space pilgrims. It's giving Identity Crisis throwback to the first film, but multiplied. Woody and the real Buzz help them figure out they're toys meant for kids, not astronauts on a mission. The kicker? They end up placed with a ton of kids on a school playground, which I love. That's a subtle clapback to solo screen time. Communal play still slaps. Let's jump to the cultural footprint. Randy Newman, legendary composer, returns with a score that threads the heartstrings back to 1995. And then Taylor Swift drops an original single, I Knew It, I Knew You. Quick intro in case you live under a soundproof rock. Taylor Swift is a global pop superstar, and this track hit #1 on the Billboard Global 200. That is the first Global 200 #1 for Disney and Pixar, which is insane. The song is pure connection core, like memory meets heartbeat, and it fits the film's nostalgia plus new tech mashup. It's also marketing oxygen. You pair visual comfort food with a current pop juggernaut, and boom, 4-quadrant resonance. Love that for them. Before we land this plane, a couple of details that stuck with me. Jessie's crisis over a group chat, then her trip back to Emily's old farmhouse. She finds a buried lunchbox of photos that prove she mattered, even decades later. That's the antidote to algorithmic amnesia. Also, the way Woody and Buzz hack Lily's voice recognition to show a photo and nudge Bonnie back to her toys is playful, not preachy. Understand the tool, use it for empathy. Honestly, iconic. Next time, we're going bigger. The evolution of animated films and how they're shaping what young audiences think about friendship, identity, and, the swirl of social media pressure. All right, what's next? Me asking you, did Toy Story 5 need to exist, or did it earn its PG era badge? Drop your receipts, I want the spicy takes. And stay tuned for more Toy Stories and tech tales. If your tablet starts acting like Lily, please be nice to her. She's trying. Later!